You've got mail. Got a brand new light coming in today, one that's going to replace this guy. It's going to be nice, big, softbox, LED, the whole deal. I'm super excited, but it hasn't come yet. And I'm actually still waiting on a paper roll too. But I'm gonna unbox this light, I'm gonna put it together. It's gonna be great. In the meantime, I got a package from my friends over at Crossway, and I need to take a look at that. Give it. Some things are really hard to do with a camera in your hand. It's just the facts. Further, I'll show you about that in another video. Now we just wait for the stuff to show up. It's here. All right, so let's open this stuff up. Sorry for the buzz. It is the pool filter, which is right outside my room, and I'm not gonna go turn it off. So we're gonna have a little hum in the background. Consider it ambiance. First thing I'm gonna do here is grab out the light. This is the Godox SL60w. This is an alternative to the Aperture 120D. The 120D Mark II was something that I was really considering getting, and this is just much, much cheaper. And so I figured if I can save the money, that's great. And if not, it's a $200 gamble that I'm willing to take, and I'll just end up having to pay an additional $200 fee for my stupidity. Anyway, I think it's gonna work out. What I've seen, it looks really good. Apparently Godox makes some great flashes some off-camera flashes for Sony. So let's see, we've got a power cable, some writing in Chinese, more Chinese, a styrofoam mask. Is that how you do it? The remote and the light. I'm not exactly sure how to get this out of here. This is what they call a single source LED. Means that it's got that one light in there, but it's super duper powerful. And then I also got this softbox, which is super cheap. I think I paid like 30 or 40 bucks for this. Of course, all this is linked up in the description below if you want it. This is a Neewer, which they make really cheap alternatives to stuff, but some of their stuff is really great. These Neewer CN160s, I use these lights like crazy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build this out, put it together, set it up, and test it.
Up to poop anyways.
Did y'all hear that, folks? She has to poop.
Are you recording this?
Yeah, I'm recording everything. But I record everything. That's the life. It's YouTube, son. YouTube, son.
You put my poop on YouTube?
Seems to be a recurring theme lately. Are you taking a poop? She's pooping. One other thing about this light is that it also comes with a grid. Now, the grid will actually help you shape the light a little bit and keep you from having light spill or go on areas that you don't want it to go on. So, the grid can be super helpful. We're not going to get into the grid tonight, but all you got to do is play with it and get it gritty. Get it nitty gritty, and it'll help shape the light. So we're not going to grid right now. Original light. All right, here we go. Turn it on. That's 10%. From what I can tell, still pretty nice and bright. Here we go. Let's crank it up to 100%. Okay, so this one's actually a little brighter, but it's not actually bright. I think it's harshness, where this one I have actually got the, it diffused a little bit more. So I'm probably super blown out right now. But this, I think this is going to be a much better lighting situation for me. Already much broader. Yeah, this is going to be great. Absolutely great. So let's talk about, just for a second, the real reasons why I didn't get the 120D2, I think is what it's called. And that's made by Aperture. That's a really, really great light. I would say that all of the big YouTubers right now are really pushing the Aperture 120D or the 120D2. There's a little bit of difference between those two lights. One's with the physical construction, basically the same thing in size, and what maybe the way it's built is a little different. The color temperature on those two lights is different as well. The 120D is, I think, 6,000K, where the 120D2 is 55K, which is a little more standard. The Godox that I got is 120, or I'm sorry, is 55K. I do have Aperture lights. This is an Aperture light. I've got one sitting here on the desk. They're these little panels. I think these are the 672, yeah, the HR672W. These are washes. I really like these lights. They've been very good to me. They're not quite as big of sources as I want. Sometimes I get that nice good light. You want that big softbox source. So these are super convenient, but they're not big enough. Where this light, the Godox I just got, or the 120D, adds that level of convenience versus the cheap lights that I have, the old Cowboy Studio lights that I have, and which is the one that I started with that I said I'm replacing. So it's more convenient. I have more control with it. It's a better quality light. The Cowboy Studio light is actually just a bunch of lights in sockets, like normal light bulbs. And I just have 5 really high powered LED lights in there, which are much higher powered than what come with it. Because LEDs, you can do so much more with them in terms of those kinds of lights and in general. So I went with the Godox because I read some reviews that said that it is a little better. And honestly, I wanted to give it a chance, as I'm doing videos that I think some people will emulate. Some of you who want to get started, who want to get going, by the way, the Godox is a good entry point light. You could enter with this light. You don't have to work up to this light. It's 200 bucks. You're not going to be much lower than that with other lights that you're going to buy. So it's a good entry point light. It's a good light from what I've seen, and I thought I'd give it a try. Could I do the Aperture 120D2 right now? Yeah. But I want to try the Godox. It was $200. I felt like, let me just pull the trigger on that. So we're going to give this a shot for a little while, see how it works in the new set, and over time I'll let you know my review. But if you like the way things look over the next few weeks, this is actually the first time I'm ever using it, so I don't even really know how it looks at the moment. But once you see in the next few weeks how it looks, you can also pick one up if you want to. So it's up to you. So anyway, got a new light for the studio, and what you didn't see is my 3rd paper roll came in. So I have 3 paper rolls up there, and I'm super excited about it. Links to all of the lights that I mentioned are in the description. I'll link up the Cowboy Studio lights, which are ones I used to use. I will link up the Godox 60 or SL60w that I just got. I'll even link up these lights that I mentioned. I still use these. I like these a lot. They are battery powered if you want them to be. Put a power plug in there if you want them to be. Totally dimmable. Come with a remote. They're really great. You can also do them with a softbox. I'll link that up below. And I'll even put the 120D and the 120D2 down below so you can check those things out. So anyway, all that to say, see you later.